Hey, welcome back to another video. Joe Santo here. Real quick before we get started, if you like my content, please do a like and subscribe. That would really help me out, so thanks. To the video here, the question is like 3 or 4 reasons, in my opinion, why some Americans are able to build wealth over others. And what are some smart money moves people can make? Well, there are a variety of reasons, in my opinion, why some Americans succeed more than others, or succeed at a higher rate, or succeed more just in general. Um, I feel like, by and large, it is a matter of mindset largely, but that is somewhat inspired by training and your growing up. I've said in some of my videos, um, my growing up was a little strange. My parents got divorced when I was about 10, but my dad owned a plumbing and heating business that my brother and cousin now own. They took it over. But I grew up, for much of my life, and just even after my parents got divorced, knowing that, my family owned a business. And I think just that fact trained my mind to think that owning a business was something that you did, or you could do, or was very achievable because our family, owned a business and essentially took pride in owning a business. Now, it wasn't a huge business, it's not like a multinational corporation. It was a small business, essentially, still is, but provided a good living and upward mobility for sure. And the business still exists, and it's been there since the 60s. It's kind of amazing. So that fact alone, I think, programmed my mindset to think that that was something I wanted to do, and that was something that was doable. So that's one thing. I think education is a huge factor. Feeling like you have the ability to go on and do something beyond even your own expectation, but education gives you that knowledge and that base and that platform from which you can feel confident that you're going to do it, or be able to do it. So that's another thing. Being good with money is not a particular, I don't think it's a unique driver on its own to make people more successful or not. However, it ensures that if you get on a success road, if you start going on a path that's going to work out, that you don't screw it up and you make the most of that opportunity that you created for yourself. So I talk about managing your personal finances like a business. And for me, starting to do that process in college using Quicken, I mean, there's other softwares, but that's what I use. It actually not only taught me financial responsibility and accountability, it taught me accounting. And knowing accounting actually helped me when I actually started a business. So doing that process of having my head in the game of money, treating my personal finances like a business, trained me to understand how to run the finances of a business. So getting in tune with that earlier on in your life, I see as, immeasurably helpful. So obviously, if you're older and you have kids, maybe get your kids in tune with that. But that again is also tied into the education component. It's just self-education. I mean, some people go to school for accounting, so they're mixing education. They're getting education for that at school. But that's another area that I think is really important. And that, I guess, leads me into the last thing I'll talk about, which is just the concept of entrepreneurism in general. I talk about in my content, I kind of organize my content in 3 pillars, which I call the personal finance pillar, the entrepreneurship pillar, and the investing pillar. The entrepreneurship pillar is, of course, you would think owning your own business. I think owning your own business, if you can, is beneficial for a variety of reasons, both from an income point of view and a time ownership and management point of view. But some industries are just not easily, it's not easy for you to go open your own business. It's just too big of an undertaking for someone who's not positioned well for that. So I think you can also be entrepreneurial at your job, really just applying the same, tactics that would take to be successful in business. Apply those to your job and treat your job as a one client personal services business, which, as you can imagine, means going above and beyond, working the extra hours, just putting the work in. So much online today, people are trying to teach ways to, do amazingly without putting the work in. I still believe that, putting the work in is going to get you ahead more than anything else. Do some people get ahead, with little work? Sure. Do some people hit the jackpot with Bitcoin? Sure. Some people even hit the lottery. But those are all small percentage cases. I think by and large, if you go interview and look at the most successful people, whether that's, in any tier, people that, let's just say, make $500,000 a year or more, up to $1 billion a year, those people probably work really hard. I know I owned a business that was, had at its peak about 30 employees, and I worked really hard at it, and I worked really hard to get it to that size. So that's probably the last thing I will say is not taking for granted, not assuming that being successful and making more money is easy in any way. Don't buy into the hype that you find on social media and YouTube and all that stuff, where being successful should be easy and you should be able to do it in 4 hours a week. And I'm referring to the 4-Hour Workweek book by Tim Ferriss. I read the book. I didn't like it. I just don't think that, promoting this idea that you can be very successful by working 4 hours a week and traveling to Egypt, I just think that's basically a farce, and it does more harm than good. Plan to do the work. Plan to work 50, 60, 70 hours a week. That's what it took for me, and that's what it takes for so many other people I talk to and know that own businesses. Can it happen in less time? I'm sure it can. I hope it does, if that's what you're hoping for. I certainly want that too. But if you want to play the percentages, plan to put a lot of work in, I guess, if you want to have a lot of revenue. Even at a regular job. The more you do at your job, the more you stand out, the more you take on, the more you impress the people that can give you raises. You don't go in every year for a 3% raise. You go in for a 10 to 20% raise every year. But you have to be there has to be a justification for you to get that kind of increase, and that justification will be your effectiveness at the job. So there you go. That's my soapbox on that. I will catch you in the next video. Hi, thanks so much for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. I also wanted to let you know about our new course, the Financial Independence Roadmap 2.0 Masterclass. It's an easy to follow guide on how to do personal finance the right way from top to bottom. So if you're looking to get your financial act together, this course will make it so much easier. I hope you check it out. There's a link in the description below. See you in the next video.